Hi, I'm Dr. Blaine Parrott, and in my experience as a chiropractor, I found there's 7 tips to avoid permanent injury after an auto accident or some other kind of accident. The first one, or number 1, is to be aware that there's 3 phases to healing. Everybody goes through these 3 phases, and the first is the inflammatory stage or inflammation stage. The second stage is the repair stage, and the third stage is the remodel stage. Now, during these stages, it's very specific on the treatments that applied. During the inflammation stage, we want to, of course, get rid of the pain and decrease the inflammation. During the second stage, we actually want to make sure that the muscles are realigning correctly. Make sure that the scar tissue is not being formed. Make sure that the muscles actually are aligning how they're supposed to. And during the third stage, or the remodel stage, we need to make sure there's exercise being performed and active stretching. Number 2 is people will take drugs instead of going through these 3 phases of healing. What happens, and the most common people will take, is an anti-inflammatory. And an anti-inflammatory works very good through the first stage of healing, the inflammatory stage, but during the second and third stage, it actually inhibits the production of collagen, and collagen is actually what provides the strength of our soft tissue. So number 3 is during the repair phase of healing, if the collagen is not laid down correctly, or if it's not repaired correctly, it will only be 70% as strong. So those muscle ligaments will be weak. This is where physical medicine such as chiropractic can help during the repair phase by increasing the tissue strength. Number 4 is during the repair phase. If the collagen is laid down at 70% effectiveness, then you're likely to have restrictions in that area and not be able to move as well as you'd like to. Chiropractic applied during this phase will help increase your tissue mobility, increase how much you can move. Number 5, during the repair phase of healing, again, the collagen fibers are being laid down. If they're only laid down at the 70% strength, then you'll notice that there'll be an increase in pain. And this will be lasting pain. With chiropractic, we can make sure that the fibers and the collagen fibers are aligned correctly, so there'll be less pain then and in the future. Number 6 actually involves the third phase of healing. Many people, after an accident, after they're out of pain and feeling better, they don't actually perform the exercises and stretching that is vital to the continued healing of the muscles and ligaments. So the collagen realigns, and so it's as strong as it possibly can be, so there's not a return of the injury, or so that you're completely out of pain. Now number 7 is people are unaware that there's very specific times to each one of these phases. During the inflammatory phase, that's what's in the first 12 to 72 hours. If nothing is done about that time, during that time, then you run the risk of scar tissue. During the second phase of healing, or the repair stage, this can take up to 12 weeks. And during this time is when you're being adjusted and you're going through passive stretching. This is when the collagen, again, is being laid down, and we want to make sure it's being laid down in this fashion and not in a scar tissue fashion where it would be weaker. And finally, during the third stage of healing, the remodel stage, they just skip out on their exercises, or skip out on their exercises or their stretching. What this will cause is that the injury does not heal like it's supposed to, and it could end up with the injury coming back, or just weakness and decreased range of motion, or increased pain in that area. So if you've been in an auto accident or in pain, I can help you. Give me a call at 530-877-9355.